Welcome. I am Dean Emerson Isley, the spiritual leader of Unity Church on the Mountain in Huntsville. And it is a beautiful day in my consciousness. I hope it is in yours too. Please let us affirm together. There is only one presence and one power in my life and the universe, God. And if you can tell, there's a candle lit over my left shoulder. This candle represents the Christ light which is in each of us. It is the perfect idea of us all and has been present since the beginning of time. Today, I would like to speak about the healthy eye. And the scripture comes from Matthew chapter 6, verses 22 and 23. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? So let's look at that one line at a time. The eye is the lamp of the body. Normally when we think of a lamp, we think of a light that shines outward from the lamp. And normally when we think of the eye is something that allows light in. So how is it that the eye in this scripture is something that illuminates? Think about the eye as it interacts with the brain. The eye is an organ of perception. It passes information from the outside world to our mind, where it is processed or perceived, and then we decide what it is we see and how we're going to see it. If your eye is healthy, there are several definitions of healthy in Merriam-Webster's. But think about this one for a minute. Healthy as beneficial to one's physical, mental, or emotional state. If we're seeing the situation in a way that is beneficial to our physical, mental, or emotional state, then we are in right thought and our eye is healthy. The whole body will be full of light. When our body is full of light, we are in the flow of spirit. Our needs are met as they come. There is no lack. There is no fear. There is this confidence that comes from faith. This confidence that comes from fearlessly relying on God. And I want to tell you a quick story. This is something that happened to me, not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before that. The coronavirus scare had really just started to take hold. And I say scare because it seems like the majority of the population of our country have been acting in fear. And I want to remind you what fear does. Fear puts us in a state of fight, flight, or freeze mode. all of the resources of our body, all of the nutrients, all of the resources go towards getting our muscles ready to either take flight, to fight against what it is that we are experiencing the stressor from, or to freeze. But the point is our immune system is denied those nutrients that it needs. So, my story. That Thursday, some of the guys at work were talking in the break room. They had been to several stores the evening before to try and get toilet paper. Finally, one man related that he had found some at Sam's. Well, while they were telling their story, I got to thinking that we only had 1 or 2 rolls of toilet paper left in the house. And in the Boy Scouts, we called toilet paper VIP. Very important paper. So when I left work that day, I set out to go to Walmart to get a few things and some toilet paper. The first thing I noticed was that several of the shelves were bare. People had been in there and just bought up everything in sight. Seeing those bare shelves brought to my mind images of lack. But upon seeing those images of lack and noticing what it was doing to my mind and my consciousness, I took a few deep breaths, found my center, and was able to move on. I continued through the store, picking out the things that I needed. And though many of the shelves were empty, many of the shelves were also full. And as I approached the aisle where the toilet paper is, I could see that almost all of it was gone. The first thing I saw was that brand of toilet paper that is so stiff and scratchy that you can write a letter home on it. And I sure was hoping that I wasn't going to have to buy that brand. And as I got into the aisle, there was the brand that I normally buy. All of the other big brand names were gone. There were 4 packs of my normal brand and in the normal size that I buy. I did buy 2. But notice what happened. By keeping my thoughts on God, even though I could feel the pull of that ego fear as I was going through that store and seeing those empty shelves, I just checked in with myself, took a few holy breaths, and went back to my center. I brought my attention to God, to love, and to having the things that I need. So moving on with the scripture, but if your eye is unhealthy, your whole body will be full of darkness. If I fall into error thought, I am not seeing the world in a beneficial way. If I'm seeing myself as separate from source, separate from others, or if I'm seeing lack in my life, that I'm not enough, or that there is not enough. In these cases, I am blocking spirit. I am blocking that flow of energy and information, that idea that comes from the divine, that is always present and normally flows through me. When my eye is unhealthy, that flow is blocked. If then the light in you is darkness, how great is the darkness? I can remember a time when I was in that darkness. I was in college. So I know how it feels. Nothing could make me happy. I couldn't sleep at night, and I couldn't wake up in the morning. Nothing seemed to matter. It was pure hell. I had never felt so alone, either before then or since then. But somehow I turned it around. So how did I make this change? At the time, I didn't know the change was even happening. It was very gradual. I quit school. I joined a rock band. I went to work. Really the first real job that I ever had in my life. And in the rock band, I began to express my creativity. And I think that's important. Also, at the same time, I began to read spiritual books. I think the first one that I picked up was The Power of Silence by Carlos Castaneda. And I can remember taking it to work and on my breaks reading that book. And I can remember the ideas in that inspiring my music. In short, I began to see the world with a healthy eye. Like Paul says in Romans 12:2, I was transformed by the renewing of my mind. I would like to close with a few words from The Art of Spiritual Peacemaking by James Francis Twyman. Just ask yourself, what would God choose to see now? In every moment of your life, be willing to ask this question of yourself. What choice would God make through and as you? Before I go, I'd like to leave you with a song. This is an original song that I wrote, inspired by The Golden Key by Emmett Fox. The song is called The Golden Key. Stop thinking about the difficulty, whatever it is, and think about God. let us close with our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever God is, I am, and all is well.